Hello and welcome to Greater Toronto Area job announcements every Wednesday. And I'm Amir, and I'll be going through some ID jobs that are available on different recruiter sites. So let's go ahead and check it out. So, how do we go there? We go to Indeed.com, Monster.ca, Glassdoor.ca, and I'll be adding more recruiters there just to have a market insight into what kind of jobs are there and what are their requirements in terms of skills. So if you go for VMware jobs in GTA, Greater Toronto Area there, and if I click that find jobs here, so we could see here that there is system network admin job, and that's from ISG Search Inc. In Toronto. And if we go down to the requirements here, so they need MCSE, nice to have actually CCNA and experience in AEC industry. But mainly what they need is VMware, Hyper-V, and then virtual desktop infrastructure, which is VDI, and HCI, which is hyper-converged infrastructure. So this means it's like vSAN related capabilities that you see in VMware. So, and they also want you to have Cisco Meraki experience and 7 to 10 years of experience in network system administrator infrastructure, and also cloud-based disaster recovery implementations. So other than that, so mainly it would be VMware, Hyper-V experience that you should have, Windows Server 2016 experience you should have, VDI and HCI. VDI is like Citrix remote desktop services or VMware Horizon, and HCI would be Nutanix, and VMware's vSAN hyperconverged infrastructure. You should have these capability or skills. Try to go to colleges and have those polished and learned. So that's a job requirement from systems network admin from ISG Search. Then there's the next one, Linux Windows expert required in Brampton Plaxis software, and it's mainly of course Linux server administration plus Microsoft's AD DNS DHCP network, and they also require supporting Bash and Python automation scripts. Guys, you should go for Python course, and on udemy.com there's a very good Python course there. Just go for the huge amount of students registered with whichever instructor. Just go for that course for Python. But other than that, so this is in Brampton, and then we go for data center administration, and that is in Net Enrich Canada Inc. in Markham, and they are going for again the expertise required are Active Directory, Exchange, Office 365, VMware, UCS, server hardware, and backups knowledge, storage and backup knowledge required. Then in VMware there's high availability DRS, which is distribution resource scheduler, and storage DRS, and then resource pools clusters. Normally in my course of VMware we do the labs for these, and also understanding VMware snapshots, VMware hypervisors and VMs. So you need to know really that VMware, and then they talk about storage arrays of EMC, NetApp, Dell, Hitachi. Then they talk about managing of Veeam, which is a backup and replication software, and some other software like Semantic Net Backup, Barracuda, and network backup jobs. So what they really want is, they've highlighted here as well, Windows, administrative knowledge of Windows, VMware, Cisco, UCS, knowledge of SAN, NAS backups, and then they also ask Active Directory, Exchange, Office 365, VMware, storage backup. So that's a combination, and they still highlight more, and these are purely over Windows. So if you do MCSA course, from a good institute, so you would know all these from MCSA, right? From MCSA, right? But RDS servers is going to be covered in MCSE. Obviously, you should know that. They also require P2V, vMotion, storage vMotion, fault tolerance. That's VMware topics, and so it's a big environment, pretty big environment, right? So you should have those skills, or try to concentrate on learning those skills. Then System Analyst, Toronto, and we're still on VMware jobs. So I'll go for first 5 here. then I'll switch to MCSA, then I'll switch to Office 365. So here also it's Systems Analyst and Kelly Limited, Toronto, and they are talking about printers, laptops, computers, connectivity, and SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager. Very important skill. You should do that course. I have that course online available as well. And WAN and LAN, VMware vSAN, VMware SAN upgrade. That's just SAN, not vSAN. They're talking about. And then again, if they're talking about WSUS, which is Windows Server Update Services, phone, and it was a semantic VM1 for backup and replication. So pretty much they want SCCM, Office 365, Active Directory, VPN. That's something that you can apply. It's not that complicated, and they are asking for certifications, MCSE, and also just the experience that is mentioned here, right? SQL Server, it's always there in every company. You should go for that SQL Server course as well. I have that too. Then the fifth one is IT Administrator Programmer, which is from a company, Confidential, Toronto. I think they didn't mention the name of the company, or maybe the name of the company is confidential, which is strange. And they're asking for, again, SAN, vSphere virtualization platform, Active Directory, and SAN, VMware. Of course, whenever there's VMware, there's always SAN. So if you go for the qualifications, it's a programmer plus IT admin, so that's why there's VB, ASP.NET, SQL Server. So SQL Server is in every company. You should go through the SQL Server course as well. Then they also are talking about external knowledge of 3Com, Dell, Cisco switch, Cisco router, Dell SAN, VMware, Sonic Wall Firewall, VPN. So going through those VMware plus Cisco courses would be a good future planning. Then the jobs goes on for infrastructure analyst. They even posted the salary, and they do mention Active Directory, Office 365, SCCM, IaaS, storage, network, and VMware via telephone system, infrastructure network administrator in one, and then system administrator, TNT supermarket, IT systems administrator, RL solutions, system administrator, VMware, iScout Canada Limited, 90,000 to 105. Woohoo! That's wow. Systems administrator, Sirius XM Canada Inc. And then it goes on and on, right? So let's go for Azure jobs as well, the cloud jobs. And if I go up there and find jobs in Greater Toronto Area on Indeed.com, so there's Azure and on-prem system administrator. So it's hybrid environment, and they do want loads of skills from you. So good knowledge of Azure IaaS, VPN gateways, Express Route, IaaS, Azure SQL Performance. Then they need Azure Monitoring, Windows Server, Microsoft Hyper-V, Microsoft Systems Center, SCOM, and VMM. So I've given that course, SCVMM, Virtual Machine Manager, and SCCM as well. So then Sophos, firewall, storage arrays, which is EqualLogic from Dell, and Pure Storage Arrays. They have, if you just go for any one type of storage, you would know the idea behind it, right? So firewall, IPS, antivirus, execution, and all others. Office 365, it's coming for every other job, so it's a must-to-do course, Office 365. If you need that access to that course, let me know. Additional technical skills would also be beneficial. Knowledge of VoIP concepts. So you should do the collaboration course where they teach VoIP as well. And then SQL Server, IaaS preferably. Well, that's for web server. Now Azure, then we go for desktop transformation, workspace infrastructure specialist, and that is also a requirement. They say extremely technical. And again, what are the tools that you should have skills about? Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, MDT, application remediation and MSI package creation with Flexera Admin Studio. So Design zero-touch installation deployments with System Center Configuration Manager. Again, SCCM is popping up everywhere. And Microsoft AppV, application virtualization, just like Citrix. VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure, right? So with Citrix platform and remote desktop services, both. So I have the course with Citrix, but I'll be doing RDS, but Citrix is the king on VDI. Then there is Azure Cloud Platform and Microsoft Mobile Device Management, MDM, single sign-on. So it's Azure mainly the skill is, and then Citrix and SCCM. These are the three main skills they want at this job, Avanad. And infrastructure engineer, HR Connect. So these guys, they want what? You should be Active Directory, Microsoft expert, and file server permissions, DFS, distributed file services. They need network protocols for you to know. They need Azure Cloud, Azure AD, Azure Backup. Then they need VMware 6.x. So we realize Suite is the one-stop monitoring application. It's a big application that does automation and can take care of all the environments, including VMware, Azure, AWS, Microsoft. So then they go down to SAN, 3-part, NetApp, Enterprise SANs, Fiber Channel, iSCSI, NFS. Then they also go for HP Server, ILO, remote support, Blade Enclosure, Virtual Connect, SQL 2014-2016. So pretty much a Superman is required here. SCCM 2012, again SCCM pops up. And the certifications they require are MCSA, MCSE, VMware VCP, Cisco CCNA, Citrix, HP SAN certifications. So that's pretty cool. And then we go for, we're talking about Azure, but you can see all other requirements here as well. And if we go to hybrid IT AWS support engineer, that's pretty much hybrid IT Azure support engineer written here, and on top they say, and that's soft choice in Oakville. And they require obviously Azure support, as they say here, and escalate potential problems and client support issues. SLAs, you need to meet that. Strong analytical and problem solving skills. But what skills they want? A deep understanding of Azure IaaS platforms. You can just go through the Azure AWS course that we have, and you could know that what are the critical skills that you require, and you can apply to this job. So you must have VMware skills again and Azure cloud skills. So VMware, Azure, AWS, very important certifications to do, very important courses to do. If you need access to my courses, you can also ask me. Infrastructure network administrator, and that is Mattamy Homes in Vaughan, and they need manage all support activities of infrastructure environment, networks, data and communication, telecom, server operations, cloud, data centers, storage area networks. So they want you to know, they want you to be MCSA 2012 at least. And Sonic Wall or Next Gen Unified Threat Management experience is required. Must have implementation experience with Active Directory 2012, DNS, DHCP, and SCCM is again popping up. Office 65, Exchange Server are again coming back there. VMware, vSphere, VCP6, and Azure, Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, and Oracle Cloud NSX. Mittal Phone System Administrator NSX, and F5 LTM Administrator. So again, Microsoft expert, Office 65 expert, SCCM, VMware, and cloud, right? So that's pretty much what you should see here. So if you do MCSA, VCP, Office 365, Azure, and AWS, these are the 5 must-have courses for you to really apply for today's job environment. System administrator at TNT Supermarket, and that's a full-time job they need. And what they require, you should be good in Active Directory, then you should be good in Office 365, and PowerShell scripts. That's good to have VMware, and Office 365 suite. They already talked about that. So mainly here it is the Office 365, Active Directory, and Azure, Exchange Server, and VMware. So again and again they are just repeating. Then there are infrastructure analysts, regional appeal. They are offering with salary as well. IT system administrator at Namaste Technologies, Toronto. Windows system administrator, CompuGen, Richmond Hill. Network administrator, Hatch, Mississauga. System administrator, Concord, Ontario. Wise Tech Group. Atrium Innovation System Administrator. So lots of jobs here. Then we go for MCSA jobs here, and if I just MCSA and GTA and find jobs, so I can see here System and Network Administrator, Charger Logistics, Brampton, and some of the jobs would be the same because the wordings are same here, and although they require MCSA, they require SQL database admin there. 7 plus hands-on experience as system network administrator in a mid-sized, fast-moving, dynamic environment. 5 plus years of VMware infrastructure. Also Windows and Linux servers, SQL databases. So storage arrays here, VPN firewalls, troubleshoot LAN, Office 365. So again, pretty much a Superman. It's required WSUS, SCCM, Cisco ASA, firewall. So what they require certifications are MCSA, CCNA, CCNP. Desktop support technician, and that's on Rowan desktop support, full-time permanent in Vaughan, and they ask you to be MCSE, MCDBA, AS400 knowledge is desired, and Windows Server 2008, Cisco and HP switches, controllers. So CCNA minimum is a must. Windows administrator and CompuCom, Mississauga, and this is a third shift position with hours from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the role also requires the ability to obtain appropriate government level security clearance. So the skills required are Windows Server 2008-2012, Office 365 again, core server infrastructure, DNS, DHCP, SNMP, TCP/IP networking, UCS, HPC, Blade chassis there, Zen desktop, presentation server, system backup, VMware plus Hyper-V, both are good to have, and knowledge of SAN technology, disk part, disk extends, and working knowledge of SAN technology. So IBM WebSphere, IBM HTTP, so all these. So certifications required are MCSC, MCSC, 2012, 2016, Office 365, VCP certification, ITIL, experience or certifications supporting public cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP. So these all courses I teach there, and you can get the course video access in a very small price. Okay, so bilingual IT help desk specialist in Brampton, and it's a 8-month contract, and Morrison International CTS NA. So what they require is MCSA A plus security plus networking certifications. Again, SCCM is popping up everywhere. Oh, I should launch the latest SCCM course. So and then there are so many other jobs. I'll just go for AWS now, and that is data engineer and developer, and that's in Prodigy Game, Burlington. Sun Life Financial and Application Analyst, North York, Junior Software Engineer, Cloep, Toronto, Hybrid IT, AWS Support Engineer, SoftChoice, Oakville, Blockchain Developer, Surge Distributed Protocols, Greater Toronto Area. So pretty much all that we talked about, but this is AWS specific, so you should do AWS course. Again, you can contact me for that. I teach AWS and Azure. So lots of jobs here in Toronto and Greater Toronto area. Junior Systems Admin, JAM, Direct Inc., Toronto. Regional Appeal, Infrastructure Analyst. Infrastructure Network Administrator, Mattamy Homes, Vaughan. KPMG, IT Systems Administrator Consultants in Toronto. They all need AWS guys there as well. and it's 20 minutes reaching, so I'm just gonna go for Office 365 here, and I'll just click find jobs here. So data center administrator, net enrich, Markham, Azure and on-prem system administrator, Markham, Orbit Group partner, and then desktop support analyst, IFDS, full-time senior NOC and help desk specialist, mission control, Toronto. So if I go up there, so Office 365 is mentioned, AD Exchange, Office 365, VMware, UCS. This is, I think, we already talked about and covered. They need storage arrays, VMware hypervisors, VMs, and HADRs. VMware concept should be good. Azure on-prem Azure and on-prem system administrator. So that's good. Azure knowledge, SCOM, Hyper-V, covered that too. So desktop support analyst, IFDS group. There you go for Office 365, Outlook, Exchange, Active Directory, VPN, Cisco, telephony, wireless networking, collaboration tools, Cisco Jabber, WebEx, Teams. So LAN desk, SCCM, and VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure for Citrix, XenApp, Zen Desktop, preferred certifications, Microsoft, MSP, A+, ITIO. And that's permanent position they need in Toronto. Not bad. So full-time senior NOC and help desk specialist, mission control NOC and help desk services, Toronto, 50 to 70,000. Desktop administrator, Red Apple Stores, Mississauga, and they also need case, SCOM, SCCM, Intune experience, as well as VPN. And they require Windows Server and Workstation, Outlook, Office 365, Windows Desktop experience. L1, level 1 desktop support, Office 365 is required, Microsoft Office is required, Windows 7 to 10 desktop, laptop, servers, network devices, and yeah, then the skills of desktop guys. Okay, so that's good. That's in VidB, personal touch computers. iSystems administrator, Linux, Windows, we covered that. But we're talking about right now Office 365 jobs, CompuGen, Windows System Administrator. They need VMware Office 365 MCSA expert. So we talked about that already, and that's on Indeed. Then we go for Monster.ca, and that's also if I just put AWS, there are so many jobs here. Tall Group, Randstad, Senior Cloud Architect, AWS Cloud Security Architect, Altis, Human Resources, Solutions Architect, Procom, Surrey, British Columbia, Regina, Saskatchewan, sorry, Toronto, Ontario, Hybrid ETL. So lots of AWS related jobs in Monster.ca. If I go for VMware, obviously, I'm in Scarborough, so Ontario, so it's going to see nearest to my location whatever jobs are there. So data integration developer from Procom, they need VMware expert there, who should know NSX as well. VMware specifically using REST API. Then VxBlock consultant, they also need VMware guys, but that's pretty advanced. Then process automation engineer, bilingual support system in Randstad, Toronto, Ottawa. They need Edmonton, North York, infrastructure security and support analyst, again VMware. So these are just some of the reviews of jobs that are available today in GTA. I'll be coming next Wednesday with more of such reviews, and do give me some feedback and your opinion in comment section that what else should be there, so I could add that as well. It's not going to be a very long video, so I'm just going to just say goodbye and see you next Wednesday.